Good morning. Welcome to the midweek edition of Bottom Line on Newcruse 92.7 FM, your daily public affairs program on the station. Yes, as always, this is where we tackle, we dissect, and we look at all the major issues in the politics, the topical issues in the polity, from security to education to business and economy to politics as well. We'll look at all of this, so we'll bring to the studios experts and critical stakeholders, big players in the polity. My name is Joshua Adegbite. Well, we started this year by looking at the projection for 2022. Basically, this is a critical year in Ekiti State. Yesterday, we had members of the Council of Elders in Ekiti in the studio. We have the Public Relations Officer, we have the General Secretary, we have another member here to talk to the people of the states, as these states is going to be a critical year, a major year in the annal of the state, and how citizens are expected to comport themselves, how citizens are expected to actually choose who will govern the state for the next 4 years, as we'll be having election. Don't forget that yesterday, INEC in its press conference affirmed the June 18 date for the governorship election in the state, and it says that that is sacrosanct. That definitely will not be changed. The people should be ready to conduct and to go out this year, June to be precise, to elect the new governor. Well, yesterday a lot happened in terms of security in the nation. First, in Ekiti, a state between Ekiti and Ekiti, there was a kidnap operation, and 3 persons are still in captivity. 3 persons have been taken by the kidnappers, the abductors. The incident occurred at 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Earlier, there was an attempted jailbreak in Akosera Correctional Center, Ilefe, in Osun State. The police public relations officer for Osun Command, Yemisi Okpalola, confirmed the incident but did not give details. But a top security official pleaded anonymity, said some inmates were attempting to flee the center yesterday, had injured a warder, and were about to force their way out when security men repelled them, shooting 4 dead. And there is the question of what do governors as chief security officers of their states do, or what they're doing. But if you say you heard about what happened in Lagos, you may begin to have a rethink as to the real powers of governor. In Lagos, there was a mild drama at the Magodo Phase 2 estate area, where an unnamed chief superintendent of police openly defied the order of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to vacate the estate. The police officer told the governor that he and his colleagues were at the estate on the orders of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, saying, and would not leave unless they say otherwise.
No, which we don't even know anything about. It will not be investigated. It's a case between the supposed people and because the government. They have nothing to do with the president. Please, can you call your superior in Abuja that you need to be up to date, you need to meet Lagos? Please. Can you call your superior in Abuja and tell them that the governor is here and I'm the chief security officer and that you don't have any business to be in my state right now and that I want you to disengage?
Sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Up, Governor. Number one.
My own order. That's why I'm asking you to make a phone call and tell them your superior that I'm here standing in front of you. Make that phone call.
Thank you, sir. I'm here on instruction of this Secretary of Police to the AGF, sir. And that is why I'm here. I'm too small or too low to call them. Your Excellency, with due respect, sir, you can call them directly, sir.
So that who is your superior? So Inspector General Police asked you to come.
I'm here on instruction of Inspector General of Police to the AGF and to the General of Police.
I have spoken to the Attorney General.
Oh, okay.
So he's not aware that you are here.
We are expecting the call that we should disengage.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yes, sir.
Because when I make the phone call, it will be tougher. If you can call and say that the governor is here in front of you, what should you do?
It is not my duty to call because I'm too low to do that, sir. Okay. If you call...
So where are your men?
My men are here. They are all over the estate.
How many men do you have here?
I have several of them.
What number?
I cannot precisely tell you the number.
So even if anything happens to your men, you don't even know the number of men?
I know the number of my men I have.
So what is the number?
We sought for some other people to join us.
What is the number that you have here?
I'm sorry, sir, Your Excellency.
So you cannot even do an head count of the number you
For the
brought?
security purpose, I cannot say this is the figures.
So you don't know the number of men?
I know the number, but for security purpose, I cannot say this is the figures.
So you know I'm the one talking to you?
Yes,
you
sir.
You are an assistant inspector, assistant what it is?
I'm a chief secretary of police.
Oh, CSP.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, Practitioner, don't worry. I'll make 2 phone calls, right? One to the Inspector General of Police and one to the Attorney General of Police, Attorney of the Federation. I have spoken with him this morning and said he knows nothing about the fact that you are still here. Very illegal operation. They have absolutely nothing, and I'm the chief security of the state. Not even with the Inspector General wrote me, and before I said they are promising his men are here. They are not from the Lagos State Police Command.
Are you defying the governor's instruction?
Right? They are not from Lagos State Police Command. He says it's come from Abuja, and I don't know what other interest do they have beyond just keeping peace of the country. This is not an expectation that I will expect for them to keep peace because they don't have any business.
Well, you listened to Governor Sanwo-Olu and the unnamed police officer there, the team leader. Sanwo-Olu had been at the estate to appeal for calm after Magodo residents staged a protest over the presence of policemen who had accompanied suspected land grabbers and members of a family who had planned to demolish property in their estate to execute a Supreme Court judgment. Well, this viral incident has raised the question as to the extension of powers and responsibilities that governors have over security in their state. Well, joining us now on the program is the coordinator of the Ekiti State Grazing Management Agency, also a retired military officer himself, Major Tajudeen Awe. Major Tajudeen Awe, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the bottom line this morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good
morning to listeners.
Good morning. We sincerely appreciate you. So, Major, well, quickly, let me just say, well, later we'll be speaking with a legal practitioner as well, Barrister Temitope. Omotayo also would be joining us via the telephone. So let's just kick off with Major Tajudeen Awe this morning. So, Major, was the officer right or wrong to have addressed the governor in that manner? The governor, the chief security officer of the state, was the officer, was he right or wrong to have addressed the governor in that manner?
He was very, very wrong.
Wrong?
Extremely wrong. There is the need for military commanders to understand the democracy we are running.
Okay.
they must subject themselves to the leadership, the elected representative of the people. If he had instruction from his commander, fine.
He said so.
By the intervention of His Excellency, the governor of the state where he is operating, he should know that he should not have addressed the governor of the state in that manner, no matter the situation. He, according to him, is there to execute the judgment from the Supreme Court.
From the Supreme Court, yeah.
Yes. If the judgment will, there is always a woman face to whatever judgment. Law is dynamic. If the judgment read that the people, the occupant of the estate should vacate to where? And I learned they are breaking bulldozer. So bulldoze human beings with their property and every other thing there. I think when we had instruction from our commanders or from our seniors, there is a need again for us as officers, as commanders, to use our common sense in handling the matter. He should have considered the fact that the governor left his comfort zone from wherever he is in his office because of perhaps people calling him for intervention. For him to have come there personally at that particular time, the commander on ground should accord all the respect he deserves as a city governor to him.
Okay.
To me, by my judgment, it was rude, extremely rude to him.
Okay.
He wouldn't have done that.
Okay. You feel that he was extremely rude to the governor, the number one officer of the state, the chief secretary officer of the state. But at the same time, let's look at the situation he found himself. Talking about the officer, he said that he was too low and small to call the IGP. Perhaps
I disagree with that. How did he receive the order?
Okay, he received the order from someone, definitely.
Well, he received the order from somewhere, and he should be able to tell whoever that sent him the situation on ground. Immediately, Mr. Governor arrived, he would have gone to one corner.
Okay.
Even before appearing to Mr. Governor, to inform whoever that sent him that on this matter I am handling. His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, is here right here on this matter. How do I do? What do I do next?
Okay, Major Awe, okay, what if he had done that and he was only acting on the instruction that he got on the spot yesterday? What if he had done that and it was his superiors that told him, stand your ground? This is the situation right now. What if he had done that?
Yeah, if he had that instruction, to me, there is still a better way. He will communicate it to His Excellency than the way he did. There are better ways. Let's assume immediately Mr. Governor arrived at the scene. He was able to communicate back to whoever that sent him. Yeah. Yes, and he was directed to hold on to initial position.
Instruction. Yeah.
There is still a better way for him to do it than the way he did it.
Okay.
We know police officers. Police officers, there's diplomacy in their own learning than that of the military men.
The military.
Military will say they wait for last instruction, but that is not the case with the Nigerian police. The police are known to be civil. They are known to mediate between two. They have a way of managing crisis. He has found himself in a very big crisis that he should be able to manage better than the way he managed it.
Well, Major Tajudeen Awe, let me quickly talk about an incident that happened last year. Last year, we had the southern governors stamp their feet, demanding that the police should not carry out any activity without informing the governors first in that state, the governor of that state. We have seen how that has been flouted. So with that in mind, what is the practicability of the tag, Chief Security Officer of the state? What's the practicability? What does that actually mean?
You see, that is why there is little conflict in the kind of federation we run. It's our system. We borrowed it and we do it the way we like. That is the issue. Or let me say, we bring African way to do it. Ordinarily, if an agency is sending their team from maybe from Abuja, for example, to a particular state, there is always a state officer. For example, like the case you are mentioning, there is a SSS or whatsoever at the state level. It is his responsibility to inform the governor that our people will be around. There is operation they want to carry out at social time. But you see, maybe they are looking at secrecy of the operation.
Secrecy.
We can sit down to them. Yeah, they want to carry out that activities without anybody knowing. But you still the duty of, for example, like this case now that is happening in Lagos. I don't really understand. Is it carried out by the Commissioner of Police or the DIG in Lagos? That's another thing we need to verify. All these policemen came from another state. So that one too need to be we need to clear that.
I thought the governor said during that heated argument with that police officer that they were not from Lagos.
Okay.
I heard him say that they were not from Lagos.
If they are not from Lagos, they don't have right to operate there without informing the Commissioner of Police in the state. That is the protocol. If a detachment of officers are coming from another state or from the federal capital, it is their duty to drop a letter and commission on ground about whatever they want to go and do.
So
that is the protocol. So they should register their presence in the state that we are here to do so, to carry out social instructions. The commissioner of the state must be aware. And the commissioner of the state has the responsibility to inform His Excellency.
So what's the implication of this? What we have been witnessing, security operatives going otherwise, not informing the chief security officer of the state, not informing some of the people that are on ground on the basis that they don't want the secrets out there. What is the implication? What does that mean? Because this has been bringing frictions between the government of the state and security activities when they come in. What's the implication?
What I'm trying to say is that there is a protocol.
Okay.
If the protocol is followed, there will not be any friction. What I'm suspecting here is someone somewhere forget to do what he's supposed to have done. That is my implication.
A breach somewhere or negligence.
If those policemen came from another state,
all right,
they must, it's compulsory, they must report to the police, to the Lagos State Police Command. It's either when they report at the police command, it's either the Commissioner of Police is there to talk to Mr. Governor about it. Also, there must be a communication gap. But what I know is that no police officer will go and operate in another state when there's another Commissioner of Police without informing the sitting Commissioner of Police. I'm fully aware about that, and I know that is the protocol.
Okay.
And there is no need for friction.
Well, Major Tajudeen Awe, in clear terms now, Major, are governors really in full control of security in their states? In clear terms,
I will tell you they are not fully in control.
Okay.
They have they take authority from two folds or from two lines.
All right.
They are responsible to the governor. They are protecting.
Now I'm talking about governors. I'm talking about governors. I'm asking if they are in full control of security of their state.
They should be in full control of the security of their state. But the officers working for them at state level, they are having two channels of command or structure. They take instruction from whoever is their head at the federal level, and then they take instruction also from the state government.
Okay. So, like the police in Ekiti State, they could take instruction from Governor Fahimi. At the same time, they can take instruction from the IGP.
That is how it runs.
So the governor might be the chief security officer, but not totally. It means that at all times, the governors who are the chief security officer of the state must actually work with whoever is giving instruction to the security officers in the states.
Thank you very much.
There must be synergy. There must be synergy between them.
Yes.
Okay, well, just quickly, in the past 2 months, we've had no less than 4 to 6 kidnaps in Ekiti State here. So, as the twice of the Amotekun Corps, one would wonder what is happening all of a sudden. Yes, we know that there have been a lot of activities since the creation and establishment of Amotekun in the States. There have been a lot of activities. But just suddenly, we've seen a kind of resurgence again. And these people, particularly in the last 2 months, I said about 4 to 6 kidnaps. So what is happening?
If you will recall, you will know that towards the end of last year, the kidnapper gang, notorious kidnap gang that operates along the Ekiti State, Kogi, and Kwara border, where the security in the state had a breakthrough.
Yes.
Yes, we have a breakthrough, and in the process, one was killed, another one was arrested, and not all of them were arrested. Few of them escaped.
Okay.
With the resurgence of the kidnapping now, in my personal opinion, I'm of the view that the remnant of that particular team, maybe they recruited more and they just commenced activities again. I think according to what we learned, there are about 6 of them in that group of that are kidnapping people along that bed. 2 were captured or arrested. One was killed and the other one arrested. I want to believe that the remnant of them that are catching these activities now. Though we are on top of it, where yesterday when the incident of Ori happened, Amotekun and other security agents moved quickly to the bush. They were, I think they succeeded to rescue 1 or 2 of the victims.
Okay.
Then, but the rest are yet to get in touch with the others. But they're still working on. They're still in the bush, coping the whole area with the police, civil defense, and other security agencies. We see the possibility of rescuing those that were kidnapped. We're top of the game, and I think we will continue the way we have success the last time. We will continue that manner again to see what God will give us to achieve on it.
Okay, Major Awe, so you're still of the opinion that the criminal elements we are seeing right now carrying out these activities in the past 2 months are remnants of those that have been arrested, those that have been neutralized. You're not ruling out. You are not ruling out the fact that perhaps a new group entirely have invaded this area.
That's what I'm saying. You know, those groups that were neutralized, it was not all of them we succeeded in arresting. I believe maybe those remnants are going to recruit more people and they just started this operation again. We'll continue to monitor them, their movement, just the way we did the last time, and I'm sure before long, we will definitely, they will make their way Waterloo.
Well, people in the Southwest have definitely commended the establishment, the creation of Amotekun, and of course, we've seen the activities of Amotekun in different states, Ondo, Oyo, Ekiti, Osun, and it appears that based on the people's opinion, that they are doing a yeoman job, but that they are a bit incapacitated in terms of the numbers of operatives, and of course, not being able to carry sophisticated firearms. What would you say about this? Do you think that, because in most of these places, even in Nigeria, when we talk about the unabated issue of insecurity, we talk about the number of security operatives we have, that it's grossly inadequate to tackle this issue. So when you look at the number of operatives that you have to Amotekun has in the state too, and you look at the expanse of land in a lot of areas that are not covered, don't you think something has to be done in that line? That regard?
Yeah, I think I will agree with you on that because, but let's give it to those who started the security outfit. To me, I will give them a pass mark. It's a gradual process. They started with this number last year.
Okay.
This year, we don't know the number they might want to add up to it. And on the issue of weapon is very, very important for the operation.
Okay.
Because the criminals they are fighting, they have these sophisticated weapons. On the other hand, as far as I'm concerned, they carry local guns. That is, even if they have any, it's not all of them too that have that guns that carry. But mainly, the job they do is more or less of information gathering and intelligence production for the main security architecture in Nigeria, like Nigerian police, Nigerian civil defense, and Nigerian army.
And the military.
If they get in contact, like they move into the bush yesterday, looking out for the kidnapper and their victim. If they succeeded in making contact, or they have idea of where they are, the Amotayo operative will inform us. We will definitely inform the commissioner of police, or we inform the commander, the army unit in Ekiti, who will go and assist and fight them with their weapons. But that's the level we are today. But only God knows. Change my shame, change my improve. I agree totally that the Amotayo should be allowed to carry to bear arms.
And more recruitment will definitely.
Yes, there's need for them to. There's need for that number to be increased.
Okay, well, we want to sincerely appreciate you for your time on the program this morning, Major Tajudeen Awe. Thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate you, Major Awe. Major Tajudeen Awe is the coordinator of the Ekiti State Grazing Management Agency, also retired military officer himself. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have a great day. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
This is Bottom Line with Joshua Adegbite.
All right, you just listened to our first guest on the program this morning, Major Tajudeen Awe. Major Tajudeen Awe is the coordinator of the Ekiti State Grazing Management Agency, and being a retired military officer, actually is the best position to, he's qualified to actually tell us the implication of an officer there, not a military officer, but a police officer, telling the governor that he would rather obey the instruction of his superiors rather than vacating the area where the governor specifically said that they were there illegally, that he was not aware of their coming to that area, and that the operation that they had there was actually an illegal one. And so we've definitely spoken with him. As a matter of fact, I believe that the officer was rude and should have actually handled that matter differently, in a more mature way. Well, we'll now be joined on the program by a legal practitioner. We've now connected with Barrister Temitope Omotayo. Well, he's been one of our regular voices there on our current affairs programs on Newcruse 92.7 FM. Barrister Omotayo, good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate having you again this year, just like we've had you on several occasions last year. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Barrister Temitope Omotayo, I believe you must have been following the development in Lagos State and what transpired yesterday between that police officer who led the team to Magodo, to that estate there, and the governor himself, the chief security officer of the state. We're looking at it from a legal perspective right now because you are a lawyer. They are out there to carry out, to see to a court order, the Supreme Court order. And so the governor asked them to leave, saying that what they were doing there was illegal, asked them to vacate that area. What do you make of that officer's reaction, saying that he was there on the instruction of the IGP through the AGF, the chief law officer in this country?
You know, it's a very big embarrassment to the people of Nigeria and to the law, to the constitution. You know, when you look at the law, the fulcrum that our law is standing up, which is the constitution, which is the ground norm of our country. When you look at section 214, 214 and 215, you will discover that the purported statement, I just believe is a mere statement telling the world that governor is the chief security officer of the state. And when you look down through section 215, the IG, he is only responsible to the president.
Okay. And
it's only responsible to the president and whosoever the president directs. When you look at section 215.4, it says the governor may give to the commissioner. Is the word may that the law use. He can only talk to the commissioner.
The commissioner of police.
The commissioner of police within the state. And if the commissioner feels, and it's not like when the session is talking about the president, he's sharp. He must obey the president, but he has no duty to obey the governor of the state. And another important thing is
so you said the commissioner of police in the state is not under any obligation to listen to the governor of that state.
Yes, that's what section 215 subsection 4 says. He said he may, they use the word may. And may, M-A-Y, in the legal parlance, when you use the word may, is a discretion whether you choose to take it. And if you look down at the section, he said he could choose to comply with them with. He may choose to comply with. So the governor do not have the security power as we always claim. And it's so unfortunate.
So are you saying that the governor, being the chief security officer of the state, is just on paper? It's
on paper. When you look at all the relevant sections in the Police Act, even the Armed Forces Act, it's just on paper. And that's why we could see the Southwest, South Governors Forum is one of the agenda, is one of the agitation. That if any police officer, it's like begging. If they have the backup of the law, they won't be begging the presidency. Is that if any security operation, EFCC or whosoever agency is coming to their state about security matters, they need to be informed. And for example, now, even what they are even talking about, the land in the state, the Magodo land, is between the purview of the governor. And the governor has a duty. The governor has a duty to regulate for peace and every other thing of that state, of any land in the state. That's what the land use act gives to the governor. The governor can take over of that land for the peace and security of that state. So it's a dicey situation now.
You're saying that the governor can still have a say, despite the fact that the Supreme Court has given its judgment.
The Supreme Court has given the judgment. If the Supreme Court has given a judgment, for public policy, when you see, for public policy, as the governor is doing this morning, that he has called all the parties for peace. Okay. When you go to court, it's either yes or no. They will give yes or no. For the implementation, it's a policy matter. So nobody has the power to go and use force. Because when you are using force, you may be violating another person's right.
Okay,
When you are
so
using,
Barrister Omotayo, so let's get it right now. It appears that we've moved away from the issue about the governor being the chief security officer of the state. We're now looking at the case itself right now. I can see you're already addressing the case.
I'm just a preamble.
Okay.
If we are talking about the security, is what the people of Nigeria they be clamoring for.
Okay.
If the governors, if they have the power over security, there will be agitation for the state police that everybody have been clamoring for. And unfortunately, the ongoing amendment of what we read over during the holiday, what the National Assembly they even intends to do. They don't intend to give the people of Nigeria the state police that we have been crying for. They are talking about police service commission for the region, which is bad. It's still bad. A security man, a first man, we always want to obey. We always want to obey his superior officer. When the IG is still there and you are saying as regional security officer, the regional security police service commission, it will still not work. They should give Nigeria what we request, what we pray for.
Barrister Omotayo, I will come back. You're already going to another issue entirely, but it's still on this particular matter. But just for clarity, so that we just move on. The legality of security officers define governor's orders, as seen in what actually happened yesterday. You are saying that the governor is just the chief security officer of the state on paper. And it appears that the Inspector General of Police and the AGF, they are more powerful in the legal balance.
Yes, that's what the law says. That's what the law says.
So
it's only morally wrong.
Morally wrong, but legally.
Legally, we may not blame that person. But
that police officer yesterday may not have done anything wrong.
He has morally done something wrong.
Okay, morally.
Yes. If you look through section 215,
he
has done, because he only obeyed he has the order, he said he has the order of the IG. But it's so unfortunate, he ought to have put a call to the superior officer to him. So he won't embarrass the whole institution or the whole office of a governor, not in person. And we've seen it severally in Nigeria that even in 2014 in Ekiti, we saw a Mopo officer assaulting a governor of a state, a sitting governor. So all these things need to look into. These are the things that National Assembly needs to look into. So it's a big institution. A state governor is an institution that needs to be respected, even in the eyes of the people.
Okay, so Barrister Omotayo now. So let's go back to the issue. The Supreme Court has given its judgment, and you are talking about the Land Use Act and what the governor can do in this situation. He said he will call a meeting, and that's what he said yesterday. He said he will call a meeting after that episode with that police officer. What is the way forward? What can the governor do in this situation right now? Those people who came with land grabbers, the family members that eventually had policemen accompanying them to execute that Supreme Court judgment, yes, they will say that they have the judgment, and that is the highest court in the land.
Yes.
But the governor too are saying that all the land in the state is under the governor. What can the governor do in this kind of situation right now?
That's why I said it's a policy matter.
Policy.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a policy matter. And since the Supreme Court has given the judgment, they've been in court for a long time. And since people have bought those land, they've built houses on the land, and we are talking about economy now. When we are talking about economy, we are talking about law, we are talking about politics, and when all these things runs about what we call public policy. And no Supreme Court, sir. No Supreme Court. We order that at this present economy that billions of naira projects or houses should go and be destroyed. That's why I say it's a policy issue. The parties, we've seen severally in courts, the parties will sit down after the judgment.
Okay.
We have seen a court that said 50-story building should be removed. That's the order of the court. But the party will now sit down.
Okay.
How much can we move? How much do you want to get? How much do you? And this is what the governor is doing. That's why I say it's a policy issue. Because when we look at what the governor signed, the oath of office of the governor, is of the fact that he will protect the law of the state, which is part of the law of the Supreme Court is part of the law that he promised to protect too. And he said the well-being and the prosperity of the state and of the nation too. It's very important that the parties sit down. The parties sit down at the moment to look at what can they do, what the governor can do. And again, they can still go back to the same Supreme Court, sir.
Okay, they can go back to the Supreme Court.
For interpretation of that law.
Okay.
Because they can go back to the Supreme Court for interpretation of the law. I doubt if the Supreme Court, because justice is for the people, sir.
Okay.
Justice is for the people. It's almost impossible when they bring tractor and they destroy billions of. So I don't think the intention of that judgment will be to destroy the economic value or to bring down the country.
So, you know the residents quickly, they had to actually protest that, and they barricaded the gates of that estate. That was the first reaction to that. So we're saying that if they had not done that, perhaps those people who came would have gone ahead to demolish their buildings.
Yes, they would have done that because enforcement of the court, enforcement of the judgment of court. It must be done in line with the law too.
Okay.
It must be done in line with everybody involved. No court, for example, now we have in the right to properties. The right to property as one of the rights. Of the rights in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. Every citizen of Nigeria has that right to own a property. And now, when you own a property, maybe due to the ignorance of the law is not an excuse anyway. Okay. Maybe due to poor search or whatever, and thousands of people have bought the land.
All right.
Which, as a citizen, the right, fundamental right to own that land, they have it. And by the time you are trying to take away that land away from them, perhaps you could breach Section 33 to right to life. You could even do a dignity of his neighbor, of the human person. Maybe someone is beaten, so the law will not, the enforcing one law will not want to breach another law. That's why everybody must be carried along in enforcement of such law instead of embarrassment situation we find ourselves.
Everybody must be carried along, and we wait for decisive action from the government of Lagos State, particularly since the governor has said that he will call a meeting. That we hope that the governor will definitely reach out to those who gave that order. Thank you very much, Barrister Temitope Omotayo. We sincerely appreciate you for your contribution on the program this morning. Do have a great day. And once again, as a compliment of the season, thank you very much.
Thank to you. Thanks to all our listeners at home.
All right. All right, let's begin to pick the calls right now. 0816-781-4132. 0816.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Samuel from Ikere.
Thank you for calling, Mr. Samuel.
Yes, those are some of the qualities I love in Fayoshe's style of leadership. No police officer will ever try that with Fayoshe. Thank you.
All right. Well, I wouldn't know what you meant by that, Mr. Samuel from Ikere. 0816-781-4132. 4132. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Oshegun. Thank you for calling.
Mr. Oshegun from Ekiti.
Thank you for calling.
You can see people saying that the governor is the chief security officer of the state. And we keep saying that the chief security officer, which is the governor, is on paper. The governor is not in the control of the police. He's not in control of the army. He's not in control of the civil defense. All these people, they got their order direct from Abuja. So the chief security officer, they are giving money. Yes, they take a security vote, but they don't have the personnel to enforce the security in their state. And like the barrister said, that's why we are calling for the establishment of the state police. If the CSP could be addressing the governor like that, and he said it's too small to call it boss, but it's not too small to address the governor of a state like he has addressed Governor Sanwo-Olu. So you can see the lacuna in this the operation of our security system in Nigeria. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. You too, sir. Have a blessed day. Appreciate you, Mr. Oshegun, for your contribution. 08167814132. I'm looking at the Facebook right now. I think I'm having. Okay. Well, all right. We just have people appreciating us there. Rison Yolua, Toyin Olujobi, Adebisi, and Jeje Lowo Olaife Ayobami. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
And so it's still Mr. Oshegun.
Okay.
Please, I just want to say that this is still a fallout from this Lekki something. You know, we keep saying that who ordered the army to Lekki? That has not been solved up till now. Was it the governor of the state or the powers that be from Abuja that ordered soldiers to go and disperse unarmed protesters? So that's still pending. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oshegun. I appreciate your contribution this morning. 08167814132. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. Ayodele from Ikere.
Mr. Ayodele, thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. What I can just say about that policeman, he lacked discretionary sense. When he has to apply discretion in talking to governor. It's very bad the way I talk to governor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayodele. I appreciate you so sincerely for your contribution. Sorry, okay, I was going to pick that call, but I dropped it. 816-781-4132. 816-781-4132. Let's see if we can have a few more calls. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, Babatope calling from Ikere.
Mr. Abatope, thank you for calling.
Yes. Now, from the look of things, it is obvious that the governors, I don't want to believe that they are the chief security of their state. Because what really transpired yesterday at Lagos, we know that they are not in charge. And they wouldn't believe. They will not believe because of the security vote that they normally get. Some people will call that the issue of insecurity, governors are taking security vote, they are doing this, they are doing that. But the security vote that they are taking, see, they are not in charge. The federal government is the one that is in charge of police, that is in charge of any form of armor carrier. So, based on that, they can do little or nothing when it comes to the issue of security in their various states. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babatope. We just have to say our bias at this point. Thank you very much to everyone who called. Sincere appreciation to our first guest, Major Tajudeen Awe, and of course, the legal practitioner, Barrister Temitope Omotayo. Hello, good morning. Who's this? 30 seconds is all you've got.
How are you, sir?
Hello, good morning, sir. Please go ahead, sir. 30 seconds.
What I just want to say is the lopsidedness of the Constitution.
Okay.
Especially the law related to that area.
All right. Thank
so
you.
That's the important that the thing be reviewed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have a great day. From Facebook, Rosiola Nuruddin Titi Lopez saying good morning. The city so governors. So governor is the chief security on paper. I see. Well, phone line still buzzing, but we just have to go. We sincerely appreciate everyone who called, and we apologize to those